Good morning everybody, how are you? My name is Iris Smith, where I make beautiful artificial flower arrangements for all occasion. Welcome to the flower patch, guys. Thank you so much for all your wonderful messages yesterday, and also concerning my son. He has just a quick update. He has had his operation and it went extremely well, and the doctor isn't worried at all. They've got everything out, and they gave him some stitches and that, which obviously he's got to go back and have them removed. But other than that, he is recovering extremely well and they are exceptionally pleased. So that's excellent. Right, today I'm going to do a 14-inch grapevine wreath. I've got to do it, guys. Oh, here's my cat. I've got to do it. I'm going to do the blues that I shown you yesterday. I was in the house last night and it was just going through my mind thinking, oh, I've just got to do it. You know, when you get that feeling sometimes where you want to do something really bad and you just can't wait no more. And that's the feeling I've got. So, first of all, I've done a bow. I may do another one, so I've left the ribbon out. And I've done it with the ribbon that I shown you yesterday, and also I've just added a silk ribbon with, it's not extremely, I'd say it sits in place very well, you know, because it is silk and it's got very light wiring. It's not, you know, quite sturdy as like the ones that I've got from the RG collection. This is just well, it was unbranded actually. It doesn't say, I don't think. Oh, it just says wired satin ribbon. That's all it says on it. So I'm going to use that. Again, I may do another one, but not as big, just with one loop of each colour and place it somewhere else. So there's our bow. I've got out some of my Boston fern. So I think there's about one bunch in here that I've not touched, but the rest I've placed on picks, single picks. I prefer to do that because then I've got more control of where I want to position things. So I've got that. I've got out some of our waxed ruscas, which I've sat here before we started and placed a lot. There's three or four, I can't remember now, bunches on here that I've all placed on single picks. So we've done that as well. And I've done a similar thing with my sage leaves. I've placed this about 3 bunches in here, but I've placed some on single picks as well. Now again, twiggy and wispy bits, guys. You know me. I've got to have them. I want these in for the long movement also. And then I've cut down off a bunch, prepared some of our eucalyptus. We've got that. I've got out 3 navy blue roses. I've placed some again on picks. I've got 2 bunches here that haven't been touched, but the rest I've put this on picks. It's like a dusky blue of our cosmos. So we've got those. And I went in and found the odd bit in the hydrangea box, and I found 5 little stems that I used from a hydrangea and pulled some off and placed those on picks. So I thought I could dot those around. And then I also, in the I'd say like the spring collection in my box, I found all these again, little wildflowers. They look a little bit like wax flowers actually, but they was all on picks as well. So I probably did these last year but didn't use them all, and I thought we could incorporate again those around. And I'm considering placing in just some of our sea holly, or erygnium as some people know it. So I'm considering placing some of that in. I've also got my blueberries out. I've got to use these. I haven't prepared with these. I just grabbed them because I do pull off some of the berries individually and place them in. So I've got those again for just a different texture. I've brought out some white, well, I'd say like a milky white, going onto a cream of our poppies. And I've cut off a bunch ready and prepared and cut them down short. Some of our cabbage roses as well in a, they look like a bit of a, again, like a peachy colour. Well, I wouldn't say peach, more of a cream colour, but I thought we'd get those in. And I've got the other two bunches out, but I've took one out of its packet. Yes, the lovely blue picks that I purchased. I said yesterday when I looked at the video, 90210. That's a program. It's a TV program. So I forgot what it was. Is it 6? Oh, I can't remember, guys. It's the most famous code number that you use a lot in America. I can't remember, 60219, something like that. I'm not sure, guys. You might have to, if you're in the States, just, send me a quick text and remind me of the code number. But we've got those out anyway. So I'm going to bring our camera down and we're going to get started. And we're going to do, I was debating whether to do a full wreath. I can't quite make my mind up because I think, I said to my husband, this may go on my front door. I haven't made it for a customer or anything, but I just thought it made look nice on my front door. So who knows, we'll see after. So let's just bring our camera down and bring it in. I'm not going to bring it in too near because I notice it's missing out on the end here when I'm placing things in and you can't see it. So, but first of all, I'm wanting to place in these longleaf eucalyptus. Oops, a leaf's just popped off somewhere. I think it may be there. Or is it on there? No, let's just glue this back on. It's another cold and windy day, guys. There's no ice on the ground, but it's just bitterly cold in the wind. Right, I'm going to go. Now, I can't make my mind up whether to do a crescent or a full. I tend to use a leaf because I do like crescent wreaths, and I tend to place crescent wreaths on my door, but I think a nice full wreath would be nice. Right, I've got a leaf that's just coming off the stem here. So I'm just going to place a bit of glue on the stem where it was attached. And I'm just going to pat it back down in place. Because we don't want that leaf coming off. So these leaves do go all different, back to some facing backwards, and these on here are very hard to manipulate and bring round to the front. But if you find that, then you can either just leave them as they are as the natural look, or you can pull them off and glue them on. But I'm not wanting to do that with these because I'll be here all day doing this, just gluing them in. So I'm going to see if I can force it around on some of them. I can't do that one very well. Now I've cut these all at different lengths. Oops, another leaf there. It looks like it's coming off. So let's do the same thing. Pop that back on. Something's telling me to do a full wreath, guys. I can't seem to want to feel like let's do a, you know, a crescent. Let's do a full one, I think. Again, I don't have full wreaths very often on my door, so why not have a change? Now, some of these are smaller than others, so I may have to bunch. If you get that and you use scraps and you've got some smaller than others in length, just get some scraps and I'll show you what I do. I will just place one in at a time. So that one's a little bit higher up, and then the smaller stem I will place just in front to make it a little bit more bushy or more volume or fuller, and do it like that. Same with this one here. There's a little one here, so we'll place that in front of it so it just fills it up a little bit more. I don't think I've cut enough off. Now this wreath seems to be a little bit loose around here. I'm going to go round, so I'm following the pattern of the grapevine. I'm not, if I was doing a crescent, then I would from 12 o'clock to 9 o'clock I would place my stems going down, and from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock I would place them going up. But because I'm just going all the way around, I'm placing them in so it follows that motion, you know, the circular motion like that, and all the leaves are facing in the same direction. I'll place in what I can to start with, and whatever I've got left I will just top it up and make them, some of them, a bit more fuller. Oh, I've only got one left. But we've done it. Right, so I've obviously made my mind up. We're going to do a full wreath. I'll just turn these around as much as I can. Right, there's another leaf again there. What's come off of the stem at the back slightly, so let's glue that one on. There we go. Right, and I think, again, as I was saying with the bow, I may place one here and then place the other one down here. I think that's what I'm going to do. So before we carry on, let's get the ribbon. And I'm just going to do one loop of each colour. So I started off with this beautiful white background with 3 different tones, a navy blue, like a royal blue, and like a very pastel coloured blue, with obviously the blue 2-tone foliage and the blue edging at the side, and it looks absolutely divine. So I'm just going to dovetail the ends. Then I had the, and I'm going to do it all together. Then I had the navy blue. You can separate the loops once you've done it. It's just a quicker way of doing it. That's if your ribbon, you know, you can hold, if you haven't got any health issues, and you can hold 3 ribbons at once. So we had this one, then the navy blue, and then we had this one. So I'm just gonna see how long I would like. Yeah, the tail ends can be around that length. So all I'm going to do, because I've got them all on top of each other, is just pinch and hold it between my thumb and finger. Then choose the length of loop that I'd like. So I'd go on my mat. I'm going to choose a 6-inch. So where it's 6, fold over, and then pinch in between your thumb and finger again. And then once you've done that, twist so the tail ends are facing forward. Get either a floral wire, a pipe cleaner, or like I'm doing, a cable tie. And I'm just popping a piece of wire through the cable tie. Pull on it. Snip that excess bit off. And then just twist the bow, not the wire, the actual bow. And then we'll cut those off. I don't mind if some of the tail ends, I may chop some of these to make them at different lengths. We'll see. So I will bring this one out here, keep the navy blue one in the center, and then the other one bring to the opposite side. So I've got the 3 loops. So now I've got this here, I will bring the other flowered ribbon over. Then I'll bring the navy blue, then the ruffled edge one, and then I'll do the same thing. We'll go back to the rose, the navy blue, and then the ruffled edge. So again, I may cut these down, but we've got it like that, so that one can go in as well. So we'll place that off to the side. And we'll carry on. Excuse me. So I'm going to want to be placing in some fern. I don't know how many I'm getting out. I'm just pulling quite a few out. And I'm going to do the same and just follow the wreath around. And I'm bringing these in front of the eucalyptus. In between the ones that I've placed, I'm putting them there. I'm not putting them immediately in front. So this one will go here in between these two. I was watching a video last night with the gentleman Greg from Homefield in America. Oh, he's got such a calming voice. What a lovely gentleman. I've watched him many times. He made a beautiful arrangement with a cross. I was watching him live. I did say hello to him. But yes, he was doing a lovely wreath in purples, and he says he's not really used to doing big wreaths, but he did. It sort of like intimidated him doing a big wreath, but he did it, and he did it lovely. I had all faith in him, because he is a good floral designer. I like lots of people in, you know, who've got their own different ways, but are excellent in what they do, whichever styles they prefer. I like to watch them, so it it may inspire me or give myself an idea. I mean, I don't copy people's work, it's just to give me an idea. I was actually thinking, because I've never done one with an arrangement with an actual cross on, and it gave me an idea, thinking, oh, I may do one of those. I quite like the look of it. And it would look lovely, that the one he did in church. But then I do like Southern Charm Wreaths. I do like, is it Kaylee? I always forget how to pronounce her name. Because here we would say Kaylee. I think she calls herself Kaylee. I'm not sure. I like designs by Jordan. I think he's lovely. He's another person with a soft voice as well. Damon as well. I like him. There's several. And I forgot the lady. TCT, I think it is. There's a lady there who does lovely arrangements. So I do watch a lot. Right. I'm trying to see, because if my cat allows it, placing our wispy pieces. Now, I have got some leftovers in here, so I'll use those before cutting into the actual big stem. And again, I want this for movement. So I'm going to go in between now the two ferns and place it there. And I don't mind all different lengths, you know, they can stick out. But that's just part of nature. Oops, a daisy. You know, some stems are obviously in true life longer than others. So I'm just going around. Let's get the full stems out of the way. I may need to cut some off of those. We'll see. We'll see as we go along. Right, have I missed one here? Here. I did have a request of a lovely lady last night asking if I could do a February stroke March wreath. I can do them. Sometimes I like to make sure I've got in the floral that I require for that month. It's usually things like irises, peonies, what's that, snowdrops. It's usually things like that. I don't think I've got enough snowdrops, so I may have to purchase some more. But I will do it. I'm going to place another one in with that one. It's a little bit... Tell you what, let's just use all these oddments, or what I've got, all these leftovers, these little pieces. I'm going to bring one there, and I'm bringing these in so they're facing inwards, just to give that bit of movement coming in. As well. Oh, I've done it again. I cleared all the glue off my jacket last night, and I've just got it all on again. Oh my goodness. Right, I'm not going to use any more of those, so let's take the band and put these back on. I'll place them on the floor. Right, now I want to start to add, I'm going to break these up. I decided I'm going to break them up. Now, they are on paperback, and as soon as you tidy up the paperback, they all come apart, like you can see. So if you don't want to place on any tape, just grab some of the wired stems, like from this, and wrap it around all the others, like so. Just so it stays on. Let's put the tag off. And that's how you can just keep some of them on. And then again, just manipulate them, move them about, have fun. Let's just get these and separate things. So all I'm going to do is place these here. So let's and I'm going to have them so they're leaning over onto our wreath, not coming out as much. The longer pieces I will have coming out. But what I'm doing, I'm creating just a spring I know some people call blue, say blue is quite a cold colour, so I'm going to do like a blue to represent, you know, a bit of the cold chill that we still have in the air, as well as, you know, introducing spring at the same time. Don't you just love these picks? They're already made for you. They're wonderful. They save a lot of time. So I'm going to have that so it's leaning here, so I don't need to place it exactly next to the other one. Let's get that glue. I've just caught it. And I'm going to keep this one on this stem. I'm just going to cut it. I don't save the paperback stems. And again, just have fun rearranging. It's even got twiggy bits in. I've just noticed it. Oh, it's got the twiggy bits, guys. Oh my goodness. So again, I'm not doing it so it's leaning on top. I'm doing it so where the last leaf of or leaves on floral are just touching the next one in front, or that I've just placed in. So that would be about here. And you can manipulate them once you've got everything in. Move them around, even at the end. Another one. And part these. Usually when I buy things like this, I tend to part a few of the things in advance when they arrive, and then place them in my bucket already cut down. So let's just remove the paper. And then wrap. And I'm only using one of the wires to wrap around to hold in all the other wires from the stems. So again, I'm doing the same thing so they're just touching. We will manipulate those. I may just need 5, so I can place that one at the side. Oh, look at this for a twiggy bit. Oh, how delightful. Let's just open that one up. There we go. And just spread it around. And then we'll do this one here. Get that in, there we go. Again, let's have a bit of fun with them and spread them. And I'm going to bring some of these stems inwards as towards the centre as well. It's a spring wreath. There, everything's, you know, going in all directions, heading for different directions. So bring them in, give it that wild look, so to speak. And again, I'm lifting them up so they're facing more upright to make it, just to give that fullness with it. So, excuse me. So that's how we've got it at the moment. It's looking quite wild and wonderful, the sort of thing I like. And bring up some of your other stems from your what you first placed in. Just lift them as well, give those a bit of volume, and you know, so that you can weave them in with the picks that we've just placed in. So just by bending them up towards the sky, it creates more of a volume. Like so. So it's going to be lovely and wild. Oh, I love things like this. Right, do I place in our bow? I'm wanting one about here, and then the other one around here. I think I may hold on and just get some more elements in. Right, I'm going to add in some of our berries. These are quite sturdy, so let's now these were from Dunhelm. They were £3 for a stem, so in the States that's probably about $5–6 for that on its own. I'm not going to put in the full stem. I'm going to cut it down. So I'm not going to place in lots of the berries. It's just to add a little bit of texture. Now I'll cut this one down as well. Say to around, let's have a look here. I'm going to bring some coming in as well. So I'll hang on with the others for now. I wanted to get my cabbage roses in. I did chop 6 down. I usually just do odd numbers. So where's the hook is? Up here. Yeah, so I usually do odd numbers, but for some reason I just felt I may need an extra one. So, and I'm lifting that up as well. Let's get the glue off that I've just travelled along my side. I may just place in 5, we'll see. Oops, that's not gone in. I missed it. I'm just moving things, the wreath around as I work. And then we'll place the last one here. I think I may need to, that one's a little bit loose. And so is that one. So I'm going to cut the stem a little shorter. Much better, and do the same with this. Like so, and then we're going to then just move a few of our floral and foliage from the picks in front. Okay, and just to weave everything within each other, because everything being quite fine as well. Excuse me. Just blend them all in. Just check if anything's come through. I've got the one there. Let's see. And I saw one here. This is where the bit is where it's quite loose. So there's our cabbage roses in. Okay, let me look for the, so I'm wanting just move this pick slightly here a moment. I'm wanting this one over here, and because obviously the it is quite full and uplifted. If I place that bow in, it would sink down here. So I'm just going to get a bit of a floral pick. I'm going to place it to the top of the wire so it's glued on. And then I'm going to wrap the wire around the floral pick. And just keep doing that. So then it's on a pick then, and I can give it that bit of a lift. I need to order myself some wooden picks. So let's just place a bit of glue on the pick. Let's just wait for it to dry before we play around with it. And the other one. I'm wondering if I need to place that one on. Perhaps so. You can use pipe cleaners to attach it if you like. You know, just, and then put a bit of glue on the pipe cleaner at the end once you've wrapped it all around. Or if you've got a pick machine, then that's even better. So let's do the same with this. I'm going to place that around there. I'll sort those tail ends out near to the end because I'm still unsure what I want to do with them. Now to keep this, because obviously it's moving a little bit, I'm going to be placing some foliage underneath as depth, so I may need some bigger foliage because I've just got these out for just to add a bit of bright colour. So let me just have a look, guys. I'm looking for something like a broadleaf. Let's use some of our Salon. These what I place on picks, what I use for things like this, where I can, instead of having them like that together, I open them up and place them in, and then that gives you more coverage on your wreath. So I'm going to use these as like depth, and also they'll give the support for anything underneath. Just grab a few out. I'm going to cut a few down as well, because I don't need the stems that long. And all I'm doing is just going underneath again to cover some of the wreath. So I'm using our allow for the depth. I don't mind either with it showing some of the grapevine, because obviously it's spring and everything's just growing, so you will still see the ground, so to speak. So I don't mind if any of this is still showing. Not too, lots. I think I need to cut that down a bit. I want one right under. I'll cut the stem on this exceptionally short, because I need one right under here, under the bow, so the leaves, the bow can sit on top of the leaves. Let me put a bit more glue on. I have had somebody actually say to me that when they are doing the wreaths as they're going along, they think, it doesn't look right. I always say, trust your process, because by the time you've placed in every other element, it all comes together. You can't, don't give up when you, like at this stage and think, oh gosh, that looks a bit messy, or something along those lines. You can make it look really pretty as the further you go along. It all blends in with each other. So I'll do the same here as well. There is a lot of tail ends here, so I may, while I'm here, cut some longer than others. So I'm just dovetailing them, shortening the length of them. I don't want them really that long. just put a little ringlet, not all the, you know, too much of a ringlet, just to curve the ends over. Like so. That needs to go in here. And you can also pop in a leaf that's there inside through the loop, and that also allows the loop to stand upright and also make it look like the foliage or floral is also growing through the loops. So let's just put some more of this salal in. See any of the piece here. As well. Right, I've got this one last little bit I'll use actually with this. I'm going to put one more in. One under here on the inside. So now we've got our foliage as depth added in. Get your twiggy bits like this and give them a little curl if you wish. Just add a little bit of interest. I'll do that with this one as well. So that is those. Now I've got our poppies I want. Now these are on stems that are furry. I don't care for the leaves. I'm not a fan of the leaves. So I'd rather just have the stems. You've got 3 flowers and a bud on this one. So I'll just pull them off. Again, I don't really like them. So I won't use them in anything else. So I'll just pull them away. And I'll cut these right down. I'll do the same with this one. If you know you've got some leaves on your stems and you know you don't like them and you wouldn't use them in anything else, then just remove them. You know, everybody has their own taste. So I've got, let's have a look, 2 buds. So I may bring the buds in the centre, or actually coming through the bow. I am a true believer of adding a few bits in with the bow as well. So we'll just go around here. Weave it through. Bring it in. place up there. Then I'll do the same with the smaller bow. Just pop it in with it as well. So then I've got, excuse me, I've got 6 of the poppies that I'll place on the outer side. I keep wanting to pick my scissors up. So let's just cut them down above where the leaf was. I think I need a bit more foliage in here. We'll see as we go along. Right, I don't mind these again coming out, or maybe slightly longer. I like poppies. I like the wild poppies. I am a fan of, oops daisy. I am a fan of wild look arrangements. I do like them. One around here as well, and I'll bring this one where the bow is. I may need to cut that one a little shorter. There we go. So we've added in our lovely little poppies. I find the petals on them are so delicate. So there's those. Let's get rid of all the. So that's the top. Again, we'll straighten out the bow more near to the end probably, because we're just going to keep flattening it. Now I'm going to cut these down. I don't want these this long, the rows. Oh. I may need to cut them a little shorter than this, but this is just to start with. I could get some more and bring. So I've got 3, so I may let me get another 3, guys, because I may want to use. I've just noticed I've got some here as well. Let's grab that one also. I'll just cut these as well. There we go. So what I'm going to do, where you see the cabbage roses, I'm going to place in a blue rose but I'm not bringing the blue rose in line with the cabbage rose because I don't want to create a ring of flower. I want to bring it slightly out, so we're creating, if I just place that there, we're creating a triangle. So that's what I'm going to do with the blue roses. So I'm just going to go in here, so I can see, and I'm creating that triangle. And I'll do the same with this. I'm going to take this leaf off and I'll probably add that in just as a bit of extra foliage. If you've got, you know, you do like the leaves of what you're using, you can just pop them in on a pick. So I'm going to do that, take the bottom leaf off. We're going to go around here. So we're just creating a triangle with the cabbage roses and the blue rose. Like a zigzag if you wish. And then we're just going to give it that, you know, bring the blue around the edge. This one in as well. Excuse me. My husband's had a bad cough. And I always seem to get it passed on to me, so I think I'm getting it now. I tell them not to come near me, but it can't be helped. But it doesn't stop me working. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 leaves from what I've just pulled off. So 2, 3, 4. I'm going to get 4 picks. And I'm going to place a pick on them. And they can go in as well. We'll use those up instead of throwing them away because they are nice rose, quite realistic as well. So let's get the, oops, wrong end. Let's get those in. Make the most. And it also saves you actually placing in a new bunch of some things, you know, like if you're using it for filler, it's sort of like saves that when you're using the bits or your scraps. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just pop these in and around. So I've got one there. We'll place one around here where the poppy is. And we'll do one just down here also. So I'm spacing them out, so I've got one here, one here, one here, and then over here. So I haven't got a cluster of them together. So that is those. Right, we're left with the cosmos. These look like wax flower, bit of some hydrangea, and our sea holly. And then we've also got some, what I'd probably use to scatter around as well. So I'm going to place in, I've got 5. So the hydrangeas, so let's cut them all down together. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring one in there. I'd like one in there as well. Probably bring one round here. In with the bow. I think I one round here. In with that bow, and then one around here. So I've spread them out, and I'm not particularly looking at placing them like in a position where they may be noticed. I'm just popping them in again to give that wild sort of spring look where things are growing from all angles. Now the sea holly I'm going to bring around here where the blue roses are. Do I place those in a bit later and add in, because I did put some single picks of the cosmos. I may bring some of those in, so I'll cut a few down shorter and bring them on the inner side. They have got movement. This main stem here isn't wired at all, so they will move in the wind, and I want to just bring in some of that floral in the center. I've used these before and they are lovely. When you see just a slight little bit of a breeze and they just move, it gives it that lovely effect. And I'm placing these as well, using them like to help just disguise as well some of our grapevine. Move our twiggy bits. I think I'm going to need a bit more of a piece of soil there. I can see a bit of a gap. Get it out. There we go. Excuse me. So let's just bring that in as well. There we go. Right, I've got two smaller pieces here. Bring one maybe with this bow and one with this bow. So I'll just move the loop or the tail ends wherever it is, and do the same here. Bring those there. So then I've got these longer pieces that I'm going to bring now and incorporate these on the outer side. How many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll just cut off about 1 inch from the bottom. And I'm going to go and dot these around as well. Give that movement on the outer side. And just keep it going round until you don't have to just put it, you know, as many as I do. You might want to place in more. There we go. So that's those in. So we don't need any more of those. So let's just have a look with our sage. So I'm going to be dotting quite a few of these around. So let's grab a few out. Take 3 more. Rid of right, and I'm going to do a similar thing with these. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14. So 7, 4, 7, 7 longer and 7 shorter. So let's cut these shorter ones first. And again with these, bring some inwards, add to the other pieces of foliage. And it's just wherever you feel that you may need one. Again, with these, I'm not placing them in any particular, you know, order or pattern. I'm just placing where I feel it may need one of them placed in. And some are facing more upright than others. Let me just, I think this part of the wreath is a bit loose, loosey-goosey, but we can work with that. So I've got those in there on the inner side. So I'm going to, again, cut about 1 inch off from these to go on the outer side. And just bring these outwards. And maybe it helps as well to just, with things like bringing them on the outer side, to fill in any small little gaps that you may see. I don't know about this. This is irritating me. I do like tail ends, but not on that one. I can just roll these ones up. It's because it's silk. I've used a lot of silk when I did real flowers, but in artificial I do prefer wired ribbon. I had to think then, guys. I went a bit memory loss, I guess. Must be my age. Gosh, it's my birthday this month as well. Oh my God, I'll be 56. 56. Let's weave that in through there. I've left these tail ends longer than I usually do as well. I'm going to cut again that one. And then just do a little ringlet on these. Like so. Right, let's carry on going around. No, I've sorted that bow. It's just the other tail ends I need to think about what I'd like to do with those. Don't you think the blue looks wonderful? Again, I know people who don't like blue, but I know people who love blue and don't like reds. I like any colour. If I'm being honest, guys, I've always liked colour. I mean, I do have my favourite colour, which is green, but I do like any colour arrangements. They all give off a different feel in my eyes. They're all unique and they're all beautiful. Right, so that is them. Oh, my cat's moaning. Now I'm going to bring the sea holly. Now I've got some on picks, and I was thinking of just chopping them all down. So what I'm going to do, I think with these, with the leaves on, bring those on the inside. Let's chop this off. I left it purposely because to be honest, I didn't really think I needed that many, but it's just come to mind what I can do with them. So it's like with these three, and place these in a triangular position. So if I place it in the position of where the hook is, if I don't drop everything, just move those. So the hook, yeah, there. I may place, start the one there. Probably one there, and then maybe one in there as well. So I've got that triangular position with those, and then the other ones I could place just about 2 or 3 inches away from that, so they're not right next to each other. So let's get those in. So we'll do that. Thanks, honey. So we'll get this one in. I can see where I'm aiming. Yeah. On there. Let's cut this down a little. I did have a leaf. Let's place that. I'm going to place this one in as well. Let's take that little piece off. I'm going to place that one in there. And then we'll do the same with this one. I always find the sea holly always gives a beautiful texture and a look to any arrangement. And place that one there as well. So then with the others, just snip a bit off of the bottom. I've got 6 of the others I'll use. So in total we've used 9. So let's have a look. I'm going to go right where this bow is here and bring one, have it slightly in with the ribbon. Again, just to bring it up and make it look really pretty. Bring one around here. And these are more near to the outer side. Again, just push that one in a little bit more. You can see as you go around where there's a slight little gap on the outer side that just needs filling, like here. There we go. So that's those. Let me just lift it up. I forgot which. Yeah, there. Doesn't that look pretty? Let's see if I've got anything popping out at the back. Just see the odd one. Let's just... Got one here. If you can't cut them out, this I always suggest, like, if you get your flat nose pliers, there's a little bit sticking out there what I won't be able to get to. So then I just get my flat nose pliers and bend it. Bend the part that's sticking over the sharpest part so it goes in and it won't scratch then. Like that one, I can't get to that one. Again, it's just the peace of mind for yourself as well. Oh, there's one there, I can't really get that. Let's bend it. So I've got now these little, I'm sure they're wax flower, guys. You can get wax flower in white. That's the most popular colour. What I'm going to do with these is dot them everywhere. I've got quite a lot of them, so we'll start with cutting these and placing these in. I can get them. So I'm just going to add them in, and I can see where I need another salon. You may notice that as you go around that you can still see areas, and it's right here. Better. So let's get these, and again, there's no particular way I'm placing these. I'm just, there's no placement for them, for any order of placement. I'm just popping them in. Anywhere where I feel, oh yes, let's get, oh, I've just pulled a petal off. Let's get one there. Maybe one a little bit up here. I used a lot of wax flower as well when I did real flowers. It was very popular in bouquets. That one there. Did I bring one in here? Excuse me. There. And then I've got some I may bring as well on the outer side. Let's get a few more. So it's again, the theme that I've gone for is spring. I've used lots of wispy and airy things. And the reason I've done that is because it's like mimicking slightly new growth with all the flowers are just all starting to bloom and come out. I mean, there is some flowers that are already blooming for this season. But it's nice to just have some like a spring effect arrangement where things look newly grown. And again, I'm not so fussed about seeing some of the grapevine again because it's new growth and things are just blooming. I don't like this area around here, not the flowers, the wreath. It's very, very loose. So I'm going to place in, let's cut one off of the bunch, a slough around here. Bring that down as depth. Again, just weave a few pieces in and out. I leave those all bent and not all immaculately straight. I should have tightened that area up with some floral or binding wire or anything like that. I think I was too excited to do this. And some of these flowers you may not see because they are small, but what it does is just brings the flowers that you've used up above around the sides and balances it. So I'm needing something here. I've got one there, so let's bring some. I'll cut these actually a bit smaller. Incorporate them. I definitely need to break up that slough. So Now I'm going to dot and do the same thing. Some of these around. I'm going to just cut quite a few. Again, I'm not counting on this one because this is just going to be used again to dot around. No particular placement for them. It's just to add in a bit of different texture. I think I need, let's just pull one of those, or do I? Yeah. I'm just going to place in another sage leaf. It's because I can see there's not enough of something, and it's just not mixing or blending too good, so I need something else with it. I think there as well. Oh, you know what, I've just broken this one, so I'm going to use it, put a bit of glue on it, I'm going to stick it there to the bow. So again, that's another thing, if you pull something off of its bunch and it doesn't, you snap off the bit there where you can place a pick in, and you've got a bow, stick it on the bow. Again, you're not throwing it, you are using it. There's always somewhere that you could place it. Now here is what's bothering me as well. There. You always seem to find something what could do with a colour or foliage, and I think around here I'm going to need a bit of colour. And so we'll just add those in. And I think the same around there as well. Just in around here, it's just lacking something, and this is the part where it's quite loose. Right, so let's now pop these in again, just adding that little bit of different texture. And also it gives a little bit of height as well to your arrangement. By having things longer than others, it helps give that look of nature, where things are higher than others or longer than others. I'm going to place in another salal just here. I've just looked here and there's quite a big gap. And again, we're having the same issue here. We need a bit of colour. So these are just things that you spot as you go around. Once you're near completion. Go. And place another one of these. And I'll put that here. In with that. Right, and I'm going to use just these to go around the outer side. Oops. Oh, I couldn't get that in because it was on the ribbon. There's something amiss there as I'm going around. I can see it straight away. Now that. Again, just take a look and see what it may be. And there's one there as well. I don't want to put that there. So I'm going to place in probably one of these. Or do I? You could go on forever, guys, filling just these little gaps in. Don't, you know, there comes a time where you need to just stop because it doesn't look, you know, odd with what you've done. I place that down to people, you know, if you're a bit of, you know, you just do it because I don't know what the correct word is, because you can see it, your eye spots. That's a good, I've always believed that's a good designer, when they can spot something immediately. Or they can see where something's needed. But, you know, like here I can still see a few gaps, but I've got to stop because I can go on forever. Again, as I've stated many times, you can be placing in lots and lots of small pieces for your arrangement. because the small pieces you need more of. Now things that are got bigger leaves and bigger flowers, you don't need as much, and they cover more of the area that you're trying to cover. Now when you're doing, just found that on the floor, when you're doing an arrangement that is very wispy and airy, you need to know when enough is enough. And enough is enough for this, because if I keep adding more now, you know, it's just not going to look any different. There's not going to be anything more interesting than what it's got on it. So then that becomes a time when I need to stop. And you can just fluff up things as well to fill in those gaps. If some look a little flat, move them around and it will fill, you know, the spaces. But again, on this occasion, I don't mind seeing some of our grapevine, because it's a spring one. I don't mind on some any season really, depending on what I'm using. It's a spring wreath. Things are new. The bloom just starting to bloom, and that's what I'm trying to slightly mimic. So I don't need, you know, everything to be covered, so to speak. So let me just get rid of all this mess. So there is our blue and white spring wreath, our wispy wreath. That mimics new growth on some things. And doesn't that colour look lovely? Oh, I'm so glad that I actually purchased those ribbons. I think they're stunning. She has some more as well, the lady, in those colours with flowers on. She has some wonderful, she's gone away to America to go and look for some more purchasers to order from the supplier. And she's gone to Dallas Market as well. So that's where she's gone. Right, let me just get the easel. I'm going to put it on here first because I want to be able to, let me just move that out of the way. See what it looks like in the camera view when I bring the camera up. Oh, let me just, I can see a little one, but I cannot get that with the clippers. Oh. Is there any more? No, that's right. So we'll place it on the easel. Let's turn it around so you can see. Oh my goodness, I've just thrown something away. Let's bring up our camera. And there we have the beautiful, beautiful blue spring wreath with this wild look to it as well. And I think that's going on my door. I say that, but then I will make another one and I'll want that one on my door. So I may just keep it here for a few days or so, and if I have any interest in it, then I will sell it. But if not, then it will go on it will go on my door. So anyway, guys, I hope you like that. It's taken me a little bit longer than the one we did yesterday. Again, because I've used little pieces, and it's those little fine, you know, pieces that you get like this, what do not cover a lot of area. So you have to place in lots to cover the area that you're wanting it to cover. So I always suggest when you use things like little wildflowers or wax flowers, anything like that, just use them to dot around. And use your bigger leaves to do the main coverage of your wreath, and then just add little things like this to dot around for that interest. Because again, you could use, say hypothetically, if these was on a bunch, you probably use about 4 or 5 bunches just to try and cover the area you're trying to, you know, all the way around. And same with, I mean, these was no wax ruskers on bunches, but I placed these on single picks. And I use things like this as just a little bit of interest, again, to dot around like I would with these. Because they are slim and they're not broad leaves, so they don't cover anything really. So I use them as like wispy bits. It's things like this that you need. The salal, what I've got, broader leaves. Again, you could use coleus. You could use geranium leaves, oak leaves, pine, you know, things like that. Eucalyptus or even bushes to cover. I haven't really got, the only bushes that I got out was from the eucalyptus. But you could use magnolia leaves, anything like that that you'd want, you know, bigger to cover areas. You could bend the magnolia leaves over and make, you know, a swirl out of them, use them like that. You could also use birch leaves as well. They're pretty to use. You know, again, something that's a bit more solid. Now, when I say solid, I've had a message of somebody asking me what I mean by solid. Now, solid is where it's full. It's not got any gaps in the leaf at all, and you can't see through that leaf. Now these are a cluster of little leaves, and these are not, you know, classed as a solid leaf, because you can see through here. I can see through this gap here to the front. Let me just get the glue off my fingers. And I can see through it. Now if I look through that one single leaf, I can't see through the leaf at all. So that's what I mean by, you know, solid. And again, it applies to like flowers. This is a wispy flower. You can see through the stem where the little leaves are. But then if you've got more of a solid flower, I mean, I should use really these here, the roses or anything. It's a bigger head, and it's, you know, lots of coverage with the petals, and like the peonies and even like sunflowers, you know, etc. Hydrangeas, things like that. They're a big head, so they will cover more. By using little headed flowers, you're going to need lots. So if that makes sense, guys, and that's, I'm just explaining that from somebody who actually, you know, asked me a question for what I meant by it. So yeah, it's just the airy, it's an airy leaf, that compared to the like salal or birch or oak or anything like that. And again, it's like with the fern. This fern, I class fern as an airy leaf. It's not a solid full one leaf. You can see through it. You can see through the leaves to the front. So it's an airy one. So I tend to use the fern as well, just for a little different texture and a bit of movement. And plus they are beautiful to add to your arrangement. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I hope that you want, you know, you want to give it a go and do a full wreath in blues and whites with light coloured foliage, and then just add in some, you know, on occasion a bit of the darker foliage, so things bounce off each other. and different coloured tones of blue. Like we've got the navy blue here, then we've got the dusky blue here, and then we've got another dusky blue there, but on here that's more of a royal blue. So, you know, you're adding different tones of the colour that you're using. And again, I've got this milky white here, but then this is just slightly a bit more of a champagne-y white. It's got like an undertone of like champagne to it. So again, I've used things like that. And then just add in things like lavenders or anything like that. So, and again with the sea holly, that's more of a purpley blue. It's more, you can see more of the purple in it, but people, when you buy them, especially fresh, they're not classed as purple, they call them blue. It's a colour blue. So you can see like, it's like a I don't know, undertones of a bluey greyish colour with, you know, some lilac or purple colour mixed all together. So it goes perfectly well with this. So again, and if you've got some picks with wispy bits on, get them in, guys. Give it that movement, or some twiggy bits as well, like I've placed in. Stick those in, again, just for a bit of, where you see here, longer length, add in, give it a more of a natural look. Again, things are all growing at different speeds. Some things are longer, some things are more wispy, and also it gives that natural look to your arrangement. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I sure did. I just love this. My husband's not a fan of blue. He's more reds. So if you're going to have a go, have fun with it, guys. And again, it doesn't matter if you've not got the ribbons and or some of the floral that I may have. You know, there's plenty of other different coloured florals that you could use instead of the cabbage roses. Use peonies. If you've not got lots of roses, and you've only got a few, but they're not the right colour, if you do buy the spray to spray artificial flowers, you could do that. But you could also use hydrangeas. You could even add in proteas, if you know, if that suits your fancy. And sometimes put in big headed daisies as well. That they would look really pretty in a spring arrangement as well. Or even magnolias, anything like that, guys, what's got a bigger head. So have fun. Please subscribe, share and like. Bring everybody along to come and have a look what we're doing, and have fun, and maybe give yourself or the other person who comes along some inspiration to give it a go themselves, and to either make it, you know, for themselves or to a loved one, or even to sell to somebody. So again, have fun. And blue is a lovely spring colour. Again, it's like people represent blue with the cold air, you know, weather. So it's like coming out of winter colour. If you do look at it like that, it could be a colour that you think, well, it's coming out of winter, starting to come into spring. And you can look at it like that. So have a wonderful day, guys. Thanks for joining me, and thank you. I just wish, I meant to have said it yesterday, but I really, truly, from the bottom of my heart, guys, I really do appreciate, and I am so blessed for your support towards my YouTube channel, and for you taking up your precious time to watch my videos. You know, the support and the love and, you know, the lovely messages is so overwhelming that I truly, if it wasn't for you guys watching, I wouldn't be doing it. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. You're lovely people, and I love you all. So have a wonderful day. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Right, so let's just go, and I've just spotted something what's just irritated me. Now, can you see the positioning from these roses? Now, there's a bigger gap here to the next one, because that one needs to be brought up so it doesn't look out of place, and it doesn't look too gappy. So I may have to just bend that head down above as well, so that gives it that balance of space. That's much better. Right, So there we have our cabbage roses. Oh, you can't see, look, I've pressed a button. Let me just zoom out. There we go. There's our lovely cabbage roses. And there's our lovely twiggy bits, just with a little bit of leaf on them as well. Nothing too much, which is airy. These are our picks, what come on the picks with the little royal blue flowers. And there's our lovely, I'm sure they're blue wax flowers. And then our little waxed ruscus, our darker green foliage with the eucalyptus, and our lovely little, like a champagne coloured poppies, very fine. And then our cosmos, some of our hydrangeas that I pulled off the main head, our lovely berries as well, our lovely deep blue, navy blue roses, and our lovely sea holly. As you can see, it's like a bluish purple tone, which sits lovely. And then we've got our sage leaves here, and our ficus, and obviously the ribbon where we've got the blue ruffled, is it ruffled edge? I can't remember. And then we've got this one as well, where it's got the 3 different tones of the blue roses on as well. And then also our navy blue. I'm going to bring that one over there. So I hope you give it a go, guys, and I hope you have fun. So have a wonderful day. Take care, and I'll see you all soon. And thanks so much again. Bye for now. Bye-bye.